defined function.
User defined function. That is a okay. User defined function, custom function. Okay, that's one. But basic 4 types. You know this. All are
Function
know
with
this.
parameter.
Very good, Hamid.
Static and final.
Correct, Harshal. Function without parameter and
Parameter.
without a return type. Correct.
Yes.
Same. Next type will be function with parameter without return type. Correct. Third type is function without parameter with return type. Correct. Fourth type is function with a parameter with a return type. Okay, these all types you are well known, everybody. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. See the one by one how we can use it. That function without parameter and without a return type. For that, if you want to create any function, use a function keyword. After the function keyword, you can use a function name. For example, I am giving the function name as add one and curly bracket. In that curly bracket, simply we can write a simple logic. Console.log, and we can mention here first type of a function is called. Okay. Here we can only write a function definition. The function add one, we can write here function definition. We never call that function. If you want to call that function, you can make it add one as a function name and call that function. So it is called a calling of a function. Here, line number 10 to 12, we can write the code. It is called a function definition. Line number 14, to call that function, it is called calling of a function. So that function you can call anywhere in that file except function body. Okay? You cannot call that add one function inside that function body. Outside the function body, you can call anywhere. There is no any rule after the function definition. You can call that add one. No, there is no any rule. You can call anywhere. Okay. So check out that demo3.ts whether your function is executed or not. So here see the file name is demo3.ts and node demo3.cs. Compile and run. The output will be first type of function is called. Okay. Whatever the function type we mentioned, here first type function is called. If you are using second type function with a parameter without return type, you can create. How we can create that function? Simply, you can mention a function is a keyword followed by the function name. For example, add to open close bracket function with a parameter. If you want to pass any parameter to any function, you can mention the variable name. Here, don't write any keyword like late, where, or constant. Don't write any keyword to define a parameter or a variable for a function. Simply write down your variable name, whatever the variable name you want, you can give a, mention the type, colon, number, comma, b is the variable, colon, number. Then curly bracket, and inside that you can write your logic. For example, I can write console.log and mention the addition of is, and just mention the a plus b. Okay, so these are function definition. That function will be called add to that add to function required the two arguments a and b. So we can pass 4, 5. Output will be 9. Check out that CMD as well. Compile and run. So we'll get addition is 9. Clear these things? Everybody?
Yes, Sumit.
Yes. Fine. Now proceed with the third type. Okay. Function without parameter with return type. I don't want to pass any parameter, but I want to return that function. So you can create it same as the function is a keyword followed by the function name. Don't require to pass a parameter. So without parameter, then I have to return. You can write a return keyword and return whatever operation you want to return from that function. For example, I return simply 5 plus 5. Okay, output will be 10. If you want to mention explicitly return from that function the value or a data type, you can mention, because here I cannot mention any explicitly that add3 function returns a number value, it returns a string value. I'm not mentioned here. If you are not mentioning explicitly which a data type value is returning from that function, so it's text, whatever the value is written, it's a return type of that function. Means whatever the value is written from that function, it's a data type of that function. Means the function value, I will return 5 plus 5, that is a number value, returning a number value. So function has return type is number. If you want to explicitly mention the return type of that function, you can mention here itself. So in after the opening closing bracket or parenthesis bracket, you can mention the colon and mention that we can return only the number data type value. Means you are to returning only number value from this function, you mention that colon number. If you are returning string value, you can mention the string. If you want to return any value, you can mention any value. Whatever you the return type you have to mention, you can mention it there itself. And you can call that add3 function. It's not pass any parameter, its value is returned. So add3 function is returning a value. So I want to collect that value in a variable because that function is returning something. So let res, you can collect in the variable res. For that we use a let keyword. Now instead of from here onwards, we use a let keyword instead of var. So just write down the console.log and make it value or result is, and whatever the result is, I can mention the is. Okay. So check it that output will be getting or not. Compile and run. So result is 10. Because we are returning 5 plus 5, 10. Output will be collected in the variable res and that res will be displayed. Okay. Then the next 4 type, we can move forward at function with a parameter with a return type. We can move forward function with a parameter and with a return type. Each function has to pass the parameter as well and as well as return also. So make it again, function is a keyword. At 4 is the function name. We can pass the parameter a colon number, comma b colon number. Okay, then curly bracket, we can return. Sorry, we can return a plus b. If you want to mention the explicit data type, function returning which value you have to return, you can mention here itself. If you want to mention the number, it's returning a number value. Okay. That is a function definition. Add4 is a function call and pass the two arguments a and b. We can pass 10, 6. The output will be 16. But that add4 is returning some value. So if that value is returning, you have to use a variable to collect that value, or you can directly console that log value. Okay, so we can use a console.log. In that console.log, for that we use a backtick operator for the proper formatted output we require. So we use addition is, and just we use dollar curly bracket add 4. It requires 2 argument 10, 6. So you can delete here from it, and output will be displayed on the console. Check out that, compile and run. Okay, the addition is 16. Okay, clear these things.